everybody, it's me, Zach from Nick Jr.'s Play Along.
And I'm Robin, and you're
And,
watching a podcast that's full of love
and pride. So welcome to Nostalgia Pride Podcast. It's showtime! Allow. There we go.
Welcome back to another episode of Nostalgia Pride Podcast. I'm your host, AlisonClarke. And as always, I'm excited you guys are here. Now, today's episode is one that I have been waiting a long time to do. We are going way back to 2003 to when a certain TV series known as Nick Jr. Play Along came out in 2003, along with the two hosts of that show, Robin and Zach, and I have them here with me today. Everyone, welcome Hillary Hawkins and Travis Guba.
Hi, y'all. Are you ready to play along on Nick Jr.?
Man, first of all, Hillary, it is so good to have you back on the show. Welcome back. And Travis Guba, I am so happy to finally meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Yes.
Dumping a liquid all over myself. Look at this. Maybe we need to do an episode on how to drink a glass of water. What's this that I'm dumping on my lap? Vinegar and water? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got water with me too.
I've got my water. We're all staying very hydrated.
That's right. Yeah. So to kick things off, so Hillary, you told me the last time that you were on my show, you told me that you were from New Jersey. So what part of New Jersey did you grow up in?
I grew up in this really lovely place in West Orange, New Jersey called Llewellyn Park.
Yeah, and you told me that you wanted to be an actress ever since you were a kid.
Oh, of course. I feel like I just was born into this world knowing I wanted to perform. It's what I've always loved. And I'm just really blessed that I got really awesome parents that were like, okay, this is what she wants to do. We're going to help her do it. So yeah, I was a child actor, and that was some of the best times of my life.
That's amazing. Yeah. And Travis, where are you from? Because from doing my research, I heard that you grew up pretty much all over the world. So where were you born first?
Well, I was born in New Jersey, right? New Jersey.
Woo-hoo!
But I was born in a place called Long Branch, Asbury Park. So, yeah.
OMG, wait, Travis, how did I not know that? You're where my grandma lived in.
Oh, yeah?
She's in Hapakon right now, with my mom. But before she was in Long Branch, and my mom was raised in Long Branch. I didn't even know we had Long Branch in common.
Look at that. Look at when you have lines being jammed on your face 85 times and a puppet on you.
Every day.
Every day. I'm surprised we didn't know that. So I was born in Asbury Park, Long Branch. I guess my family is from. My dad lived in a place called Fairhaven, which is basically Red Bank, which is famous from Kevin Smith and Clerks and all that stuff. That's where it's famous, and it's sort of where the boats come across from Wall Street, and so it's kind of a pretty affluent community smashing into a very working class community. But I was born there, and my dad got a job with the government. And so we moved to Utah, and then what was West Germany. Kids, it used to be West and East Germany, and going between them was a big deal a million years ago. So there, and then we moved to Holland, and then I moved back to California because I nagged them about wanting the John Hughes, California Pretty in Pink Life, and I finished school in, I guess, what was that, Sacramento. And then went to school at NYU and, San Francisco and San Diego, just traveled a lot. So.
And so, so how did Nick Jr.'s play along come about? Because I know that because from doing my research, that it aired in September of 2003 to February of 2004.
You want to take that, Hillary?
Well, I can tell you how it came about for me. I just remember my awesome agent, Barbara, over at Innovative Artists. She got me seen for it. I remember going there and like running the lines. And I think Adrian was in there, Melissa Chusett, the casting director, and some other awesome people. And then like I did the lines and then they were like, Hillary, can you stay? And I'm like, why? Yes, I can. And so I stayed and then I did the lines again with like someone else. They had someone else come in the room and they're like, okay, Hillary, can you stay? I'm like, why? Yes, I can. And so then they kept having like these other awesome actors come in and like I read with them and I'm like, I'm moving in, you know? And it was just so much fun. And then of course I got to work with Travis and then it was like just happily ever after that.
Do we do like a chemistry thing? Like I'm not remembering. Like
I don't remember you and I doing a chemistry thing until we were like on set.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Am I correct?
I have big old gap in my memory for that. Like,
because
the thing was I was getting married in 2003, and so I was kind of like I'd done the commercials for a while, and in New York, like if as an actor, if once you've done your Law and Order, you're kind of like, well, that's all the TV like to make my living. So unless you get like a facial scar, or, you know, grow a giant beard or something, you only really appear once. And so I'd done that. And that was Law and Order, SVU, Tortured, if you want to look it up, bowling alley guy. I was the criminal, but I wasn't. Oh, I spoiled it. So I was moving out to Los Angeles because I kept flying out there to test for things, and then the local guy kept getting it. So I'm like, well, I'm not really big on these winners already. So we were packing up to leave, and then they're like, oh, you want to do the this pilot? I was like, sure. So I did the pilot, and I was with. It's funny because I was with Abrams Artists, and there's this weird thing. I don't know if you experienced. Like, there's a commercial and everything else section, and then there's like this big glass wall, and on the other side is all the serious theatrical stuff. And it's like you can't get to either side. And this is one of the few opportunities that I got to that other side of it because they're huge. They have like Woody Harrelson and Julia Roberts and stuff. So.
When you said doing the pilot, that just like brought memories back to me. Was the first segment we did together shaking my body, shaking my body?
Could be.
I'm having like memories of something like shaking my body.
Do you have all the episodes? I have all the episodes.
I think I have all of them like somewhere. I should know where. Like I'm in LA now. I wasn't in LA before. Yeah. Like I would go back and forth to LA before, but like now I actually live here. So I'm sure like I have them somewhere at my mom's house. Mommy, let me keep my stuff with you.
But they're VHS tapes they gave them to, so you got to capture them.
Yes.
Like that's why I grabbed mine about 7 years ago because the tapes start to get brittle and then you don't have it anymore.
But you know what? Some of them like are on YouTube. Some of them.
Yeah, very few. It's very weird how it's like it kind of on IMDb, it's like listed as like a series, but not. There's only like one up there, and then
it says IMDb says we did like 2 episodes, but we did like 202 episodes.
Yeah, like thanks IMDb.
But we have to count our blessings. Like I'm so grateful that we're even like listed on there at all. Like whoever put us on there, thank you, big thank you.
Yeah, I will say thank you to that too. That was good. But I do remember the beginning. So this is a little inside baseball. We did it with 2 puppeteers. I think it was Rick. I can't remember the woman's name though. Rick was kind of like glasses balding.
Heather.
No, you guys had Heather and you had Joey, and because you guys were working with Heather and Joey, and I'm just like I was telling Hillary from last time. So you guys were working with the Feet Beats, and I still remember their names to this day: Smelly, Tube, Lefty, and Pinky.
I love how Allison knows this. Like she knows her stuff. Allison knows her Nick Jr.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that I happen to be bilingual.
Woo! Go girl.
Yeah, yeah, because Hillary knows this. Yeah, because since I happen to be a fan of the one and the only Selena Quintanilla.
Are you gonna sing for us again?
Man, man, I was hoping you would ask. Yeah, because because today is Selena's 30th death anniversary, 30 years.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you want me to sing some Selena for you guys?
Sure.
I'm on
crack it.
it. Quien copa que vida, tu padre, tu mamá, aquí solo importa nuestro amor, te quiero, amor prohibido murmuran por las calles, porque somos de distintas sociedades. Amor prohibido nos dice todo el mundo, en dinero, buen boy, tanti en mí, miel de corazón. Oh, oh, baby.
Woo! Yay, Allison!
Oh,
That's
muchas
great.
gracias. Oh, muchas gracias, mi amigos.
De nada.
Yeah.
I was talking about Rick from the pilot. Like, did you ever get a copy of the pilot, Hillary?
Did we do the pilot together?
Yeah, didn't we?
Maybe the pilot was shaking my body. So I remember part of it. You remember the other part of it. If we put our memories together, we probably have the whole story.
Oof, it was like 22 years ago.
Don't say how long ago it was.
But well, the reason I remember that it was somebody else, Rick, is that when we came in and Joey was there, I was like, "Who's this? Where's the other guy?" But he was doing Avenue Q. Remember, they were workshopping it, and it went to Broadway. That was Rick.
that was Joey, right?
No, Joey wasn't doing it. The first guy who made the puppets was a guy named Rick. Rick, I mean, if you can look it up, whoever did the puppets.
Do you have a copy of the pilot?
That's what I have to go look. I don't think I do. Something tells me I got it or it was sent to me, but I don't know. It's got to be somewhere, but who knows?
Well, I just want to say, Rick, you are awesome. Okay. everyone we got to work with, awesome.
Yeah. It was fun. But I do remember going like, oh, he's doing Avenue Q. Do you know Avenue Q? It's a bit of a more risque, what do you call it? It's like puppets, but for like kids in college. So it's a little edgy.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you guys were doing Nick Jr.'s play along, like, where was it filmed at? Was it filmed in front of a green screen or a blue screen?
Green screen.
And
here's the funny thing. Here's a little technical thing. Hillary and I have very different complexions, right?
We do?
Yeah, I don't know if you know that, but like lighting
Travis,
both.
We're twins.
We're twins, like Fozzie and Kermit. So when they had to light us, it was literally like we had to be animated and move, but I couldn't drift too far over because I would start to key out. Do you remember? Because they had to dye my eyebrows because they're so light. I don't know if you can see them. That like a couple times you just see clouds instead of it would be clouds for eyebrows because it would key out. It's like where they cut out all the light green, but there'd be like reflection from the green that would get on my very pale my pale self, and I would start to key out. Anyway.
You are hysterical, Travis. I was like trying not to laugh so that everybody could hear you, but like inside I was like bawling, like laughing so hard.
Oh, that's so nice. You're so kind. So kind. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. So it's green screen. So, when you light that, you have to light it a particular way so that the background is easy for them to change. And so it was really a challenging thing because we had to be animated, right? But we couldn't move too far. And then we couldn't move too far forward because there was like puppeteers like right up on us.
Oh, they were right up
on us.
Oh, right up on us.
and Joey was like this, like really like thin with long arms. No problem. Heather, bless her heart, she was not quite. She had shorter arms, so she had to be right on you to kind of thing. Bless your heart, Heather. I don't know where you are, but I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have Joey and Heather on this show with you guys.
That would be so much fun. I think, but like Heather and Joey are totally awesome to work with, and they are so great. Like I feel like the way they made the puppets, they like came alive. Like the puppets were like real to me. Like I feel like the puppets were like my friends. Like I remember Lefty, he was like so cute. Like I love Lefty. Like he was just so real to me.
Yeah.
I liked his version, like when the cameras, like the blooper version with a boob. Shelly, I love you, Shelly. He would just like push the puppet face in, and it was like this little like badger kind of thing. Very funny. That was my favorite part.
Yeah. And so, what was your favorite segment on the show? Because I also recall seeing a video of when you, Hillary, were like talking to Izzy, this white light that used to draw on the screen.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for reminding me of Izzy. I love Izzy. Like Izzy,
I told you I know my Nick Jr.
That was so much fun playing with Izzy. And then also I think other segments that I love is like anything that we got to do. Like, do you remember like the freeze dance breaks? It's time for a freeze dance break. And then we'd get to dance and have so much fun. And then when the music stopped, we'd freeze.
Yep.
And then dance and freeze. It was just so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. So speaking of Nick Jr.'s playing along, yeah, but you know, we can't go any further without talking about the one and the only Bobby Floyd.
Take it away. Wait, take it away, Zach.
Well, I never met them. Like it's so funny. You see it all assembled, but then you're like, who is that? And you could be at a party and you're like, oh, you do the thing, or you're responsible for that. But like, I've never met Bobby.
That's why I said take it away, Zach, because I haven't either.
So
not to my knowledge.
we had two places that we were like in this like lower east side. What was that, like East 4th? No, West, sorry, West 4th, right by the highway, the West, what do you call it? West Coast Highway, the big fast road on the west side below Chelsea. So we were way over there. It was kind of industrial. It was kind of like, it was kind of sketchy. But yeah, we were like in a little box, and that was the only place we were. And then we'd get to go up to 1515 Broadway. You went up there, right? For the big offices?
Yeah, I mean, I remember just like going up there, like even after we filmed, like I would just like go up there and just like chill, you know?
Yeah. It was really cool. And you know, you have us on the walls, which was like, look at that.
We were on the walls?
Yeah. We went up there. I was like, look at us. You know, there'd be like Blue's Clues, and then we were on the walls for a while, like just for the Nick Jr. stuff. You don't remember?
How come I don't remember? I want to like go back in time and see us on the walls. That's so cool. Thank you guys. Whoever put us up there, thank you.
Yeah. Did we have an office, or I can't remember. I feel like going in an office and looking out on Times Square going, this is where I'm going to be for the ball drop.
That is so funny. Now you're giving us an office. Okay, yeah, we might as well just go all out with our imagination. We have an office. We just like are moving in there. We can like sleep there.
And the private plane and the massage therapist.
Oh, yes.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to go back to what my favorite one was, because I still show it, which is Banana. Like Banana was as good as it got. It was like everything that I had to bring to this world was in Banana. Strawberry was pretty good, right? Mustard Bottle was kind of, you know, indie and edgy, but Banana was where it's at. And I would like to point out right now, this was before Minions. Do you know how Minions are like, Banana? This was the first guy. This was the first guy. I've been robbed.
Zach. Aww.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know that Bobby Floyd was amazing as the modern version of Face.
Right. Because before us was Moose, right? And then Bobby took over Face.
No, Moose came in, I think, like either 2007 or 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, and because remember, Nick Jr.'s play along was only on for 1 year, 2003 to 2004.
Oh, I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember clearly.
Yeah.
But wait, what do you remember? Can you tell me? Because I don't remember.
Oh, do you want? Okay, so here's a big story. So I had left New York after the pilot. I got married in Texas and we had packed all our stuff up and we were flying overseas for 6 months to go to Southeast Asia for our honeymoon. And like a week and a half, maybe before that we were doing that, we got the call that it's a go. And my wife and I had to have a long conversation about it, but it sounded like it was going to be really lucrative. And we wanted to move on from New York to go to LA, like I said. But I'm like, okay, we'll go back. So now I had to find a place to live. Like, you know how easy that is in like 8 days, right? In New York, no problem. So, so I found a place with some buddies, but they didn't want to have a married couple. So we just got married, and she's in Boston with her sister, and I'm in New York, like just staying there. So we were there, and we decided, oh, we're gonna get an apartment. We got it all set up, and then one day I went to go in the building, and my little key card didn't work, and they called upstairs and they literally sent the guy down with a box to me to go up and get some stuff. And then I had to go talk, like wait outside to like talk to Kevin and then go to casting to get the tapes. And then I think I saw, who was the other writers? Adrian, and there was like that tall.
Adrian was producer.
Yeah. But there was a writer guy. Like,
yeah, he was nice. I like him.
What was his name? He kind of like, if we did a movie of this to be played by not Matthew McConaughey. What's the other one? Matthew Modine would probably, you remind me of Matthew Modine. So, yeah, so it's like weird because it was like, because like nobody really, it was really awkward, right? It was like everyone like was awkward about it and just felt weird. And like in the middle of that, my agent called me to tell me like, hey, they're not going to do it anymore. I'm like, great timing. Could have called an hour ago. It would be great. So it was really sad. Like I was really, really sad about that. But that's how I found out. How'd you find out?
I just don't know. I think like I don't really remember. Like you know what it is? So Nick Jr. was my dream come true job. Like it was. Like I love all of my acting jobs, but they're like I think because I'm a kid at heart, like and I want to stay a kid forever. And like we got to play with puppets and you know, and then there was Izzy and like everybody on set like was so nice and everything. And like I love everyone.
No fun. No fun at all.
Like I just love everyone. Like, I don't even know what I was saying other than like I think because it was my dream come true job, like in my fairy tale mind, I thought it would like last forever. And so I probably blocked finding out it wasn't lasting forever because I don't remember how I found out.
It sounds like you disassociated and went away to a happy place kind of thing.
I went away.
Yeah, it's sad. But it was, you remember how, I mean, we were like recording audio for stuff for a video game. And remember that part? We went to the studio and we were recording for real. You Can't Eat That, like singing it. Don't you remember this? Did you were there. You did the voiceover stuff for the video game and the website. Do you remember the website?
We did a video game?
Yeah, we did all the stuff for the video game. And it was like, but the video game wasn't that complex. It was like, click here if you want to see a toothbrush, that kind of stuff.
That is so cool. Thank you, whoever put us in a video game. And so like what website? Tell me. Like
NickJr.com was like all of this sort of interactive thing. But then I just remember going like, oh, we're going to go do like appearances and stuff. And so all of this was really, really exciting. And everybody was like, oh, it's going to be amazing. You're going to make a bunch of money. And it's going to be wonderful. You're going to get to do this for a while. And then it was like,
oh, no. Oh.
So, but do you also remember we kind of had to like not say anything for a while, which was hard.
Maybe that's why I don't remember because I wasn't allowed to say anything. So I was just like, well, if I'm not allowed to say anything, maybe I just shouldn't remember.
We would just have, I mean, it was literally in the contract. Like we had to stay happy and positive. Like there was, you know, like, no, it's great. We'll see you next week, you know, or like watch us on like in everywhere I engaged, but also I did a lot of commercials. And so I couldn't do anything because of the morality clause for, you may not know this, but like, Allison, but like when you do a kids show, they lock down a bunch of stuff, right? They don't want to see their host like chugging a beer in an ad or whatever, or like, you know, not just like out at a party passed out on a table stuff, but like you can't advertise stuff. So I was like, for me afterwards, I was like really sad. And then one of the main ways that I earned money, I couldn't do for like a year. I was like, oh no. So,
But
anyway,
at least I feel like it was all worth it, though. You know, like totally dream come true job on my end.
But also, you don't. Do you have kids? I don't even know. Did you ever have kids?
No, I'm the kid.
Okay, I get it.
I'm the kid forever. I have to take care of myself. I'm the kid.
So I mean, I got to show my kids that, and they loved it, and that was really special. And then I was teaching high school for a while, and the information got out.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Yeah. So the next question is about the opening theme song, and I still remember it. It's not just for watching Nick Jr. play along.
Sing along.
Yeah. Sing along.
Dance along.
Dance along.
Play along.
Do. I think I've got that somewhere here. I actually still have the drawings. Do you ever get the drawings of what we were supposed to look like?
How is it that you have like all this? Like
you were sleeping. You got to pay attention.
So speaking of the theme song, I know that there's two versions of that theme song. So the 2003 one was when you two were in that intro, but in the 2004 version, you guys were not in it.
What?
Oh no!
Yeah, because Travis, I even sent it to you privately on a Facebook Messenger. I even because the video to that it happens to be on YouTube. There's a comparison between the two intros.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I'll have to look again.
Well,
yeah,
was one longer or shorter or something?
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, there's so much research about it.
Well, can I just say, and I don't know if I've seen the other intro, but I say the one with Travis in it, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, and of course he's wearing the shirt from the show.
Aww.
Yeah, one of us was paying attention on set.
Yeah.
Travis gets to keep his shirt. Travis gets the sketches. Travis gets all this stuff.
He gets everything. He pretty much gets everything. He's the lucky duck around here. He's the lucky one. Yeah. And so so first of all, how did the intro song come about?
I mean, there, like I said, with the video game that, Hillary's blocked out, like we went to a music studio. Do you remember this? We went to, it's like on like 48th Street over on the east side. There's a guy who had like a little studio, and he just we recorded all this stuff. Like they show up, they give us the pages, and we'd like, okay, here we go. And then we would get plugged into, it wasn't like we had a room with a bunch of other people, and it was just you and I recording, and it was a sound booth. You don't remember any of this?
It sounds totally awesome, and thank you guys for the opportunity. Like, I love going to the studio, so thank you. So much fun.
It was good spin. Way to play.
Yeah, and also but there's one person we still cannot go on without mentioning. So we can never forget the one and only Jemiah Nash.
Oh, can we look her up? What does she look like now? She was adorable.
Way back in March of 2023, I actually got the chance to meet her.
Really?
Oh, where?
Oh, on an Instagram live stream, and I told her about how I became a fan of another one of my favorite Nick Jr. shows because she and I were both born in 1996, and because she would have had to have been 6 years old when she was on Nick Jr.'s Play Along.
She was pretty small. Yeah, she was pretty small, and then they made her on a flower, so she was even smaller.
So they shrunk her down.
Right, yeah, because since she was also on another one of my favorite Nick Jr. shows, which happens to be The Backyardigans.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was the singing voice of Uniqua from seasons 1, 2, and 3. So I told her my whole story about how I became a fan of the show, and I sang 2 Backyardigans songs with her. Yes, it was the Lady in Pink, and another one of my favorite songs
Huh.
from the Backyardigans was Not an Egg Anymore, because she was because she was the singing voice of Uniqua in all 60 episodes, because there's 80 episodes in total, so she was on 60 of them.
Well, good for
Wow,
her.
that's a lot.
They were super nice. Her mom was super nice. Sometimes when you go on shows where there's kids, some of the parents are like, okay, simmer down. Like, this is about your kid, not you.
Yeah,
But her
yeah,
parents were great.
yeah, yeah. And you know that I have a feeling that I would have fit right in with you guys.
I think you would have.
Yeah, yeah, because since I have a lot of fantasies of working with a lot of different people from Nick Jr.
Aww.
Yeah. 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 Now, speaking of working with kids, now, uh, I'm sure you guys know about the documentary Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV.
Yes, I don't know
Yeah.
if I didn't sound like Hillary would watch that from what I know of Hillary.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not her
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah, but did you guys make sure that Jemiah was safe on set?
Yeah, it was a really positive set. I mean, there was basically one big room and then a couple of small dressing rooms. So there was no like corners or places to go. It was like we're all together and
The way
her
you
parents
say
were there.
that, there was no corners. Dun dun dun.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, she was totally it was really nice. Everybody was really nice.
that's good.
Even Jonathan Judge.
Oh, I love Jonathan.
I actually used to live by Jonathan in LA. So he's out there, he's doing like he's won some BAFTA awards like for directing and like he's really working. He's doing well out there. So I've actually hooked him up with writer people I know too, and they work on projects. So I really liked him too. He
Aw.
used to live with me, like work down the street from me in Brooklyn and then in Los Angeles in Studio City. So
So you two were like destined to be like next door neighbors.
I think he's following me, kind of. He would have me come over. He'd come over and fix some IT stuff all the time. He has twin boys. I don't know.
Yes, I think I know that.
Yeah.
Aww.
But yeah, we've been over there a few times, and I really like him. He's always really stayed nice and positive too.
I really like him too.
And I connected with Joey for a while too, and then he's busy. I don't know if you know this, Allison. Joey's like big deal in Sesame Street world.
Yeah. I mean, I know him from Sesame Street, and I know that Heather was on. Let me see. So she even did some work for Johnny and the Sprites, which is one of my favorite Playhouse Disney shows.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good for
Yep.
her, Heather.
Yep. Yeah. And also, she also, I think she did some work on the other Nick Jr. show, Lazy Town.
No, I
Yeah,
don't know that one.
yeah, because Lazy Town came out the same year the Backyard.
Oh yeah.
came.
That was with the like Icelandic buff guy who was like trying to get
That's
everyone to
right.
work
That's
out.
right. Yeah. Since I've
Yeah.
had, because since I've had Jodie Eichelberger and David Matthew Feldman from from Lazy Town on my show.
Oh, yeah, I remember. It's like I do remember that show. It was very interesting with the bad guy with he was very Sonic the Hedgehog mustache guy and
Yeah, that was the good guy, Sporticus.
he was Sporticus, but wasn't the bad guy like had some mustache or was that him?
No, Sporticus was the one with the mustache.
Okay, yeah, and he's just always like doing like look at me on one hand kind of thing. You're like,
Yeah,
what? That's amazing.
See, this is why my memory comes in very handy for those for those who have lost their memories during their Nick Jr. days.
Yeah, but we'll let our memories slide for little Bill.
Oh man!
Oh boy, I think I got some sort of like underlining something
Now,
in there.
You know little Bill, right?
Yeah. Now
It disappeared for some reason. I can't think
Now-
why. Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, but Janice Burgess, I mean Janice Burgess, who I talk about a lot on the show, because because since I'm a super Backyardigans fan, because I mean she's been gone for over a year now.
Mm.
Yeah, but did you ever get to meet Janice Burgess? Did either of you get to meet her?
I don't know. I'm not great with names, to be honest. Maybe Hillary, do you remember?
so the thing is, I've met a lot of people. I just like we met a lot of people. And then like I
Right.
said, what I do remember is I would hang out over at like, what was it, 1515 Broadway?
Yes.
Yeah, like I'd hang out over there. So I'm even like in hanging out, I met a lot of people. Like I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. I do remember meeting both of the Blues Clues. Was it Joe? And what was the cousin one? Not the
They came,
Filipino guy, but the one in between.
one of
Maybe
them came to our,
Steve.
yeah, Steve came to our set, didn't he?
Steve and Joe. Steve came to the set briefly, but Steve was like, after 10 years, was like, I'm out. I got to do something else. And then Joe was his brother cousin that took it over from Steve.
Yeah,
But
Joe was Steve's brother on the. Yeah, Steve and Joe were brother on the show. They're brothers.
yeah, but he came, and then I guess that didn't last very long, and that had just kind of wrapped up. And I feel like he was in the place that we were when they decided not to continue with our show. Like, and he would come around, and I think Jonathan had worked on that too. And I was like, oh man, that's tough. But he was super nice.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, yeah, yeah. So, how did the thank you song come about for Nick Jr. Play Along?
Take it away, Zach.
What do you mean? Well, Robin came up with it in the studio. You remember that, right? You were in the studio and you like took out some music and like Mozart, you just wrote it. And it was amazing. You have the original. But they had a composer. There's got to be someone who's written the composer, or there's some sort of musical credit. But they have somebody on staff, and they get together with Adrian, the producer, and the writer. And what was that? You remember the guy with the glasses and the beard? Then he was like Mark was his name.
There
I
was
forget.
there was another really cool producer, Holly. I really like Holly.
I forgot Holly completely.
Yeah, no, I didn't forget Holly. See, I remember the people. I remember Holly. I remember Adrian. I remember Jonathan. I love all of them.
I could fire up a video right now and look for all their names because it's on the beginning of all
That's
of it.
fun. Hey, listen, we got to go check our own IMDb page.
Yeah.
And then,
Well,
I remember Sherry, God bless her. This morning, I was like, OMG, where is Sherry? Sherry, come dress me.
yeah. Oh, did you watch?
Come make me beautiful, Sherry.
Some of that, like that's a private thing. Like I would have to ask, like that's like sort of I think a rap party thing is kind of like you may not want to get that out there in the world. So if you're gonna share that at all, I need to ask Joey first.
Wait, what?
I thought you were talking about the excerpts one. Sherry, I'm gonna come home with you, Sherry.
Oh, you're talking about that puppet that like never made it on air, Boob.
Yeah. Yeah, but he was so funny, but at the same time, like a little risque. You know, you're like, I don't know if that ages well 20 years later.
He was weird.
Who or Joey?
No,
Joey, she calls you weird.
Oh, not Joey. I love
Joey.
Joey.
That was me, Joey. That was her.
I love Joey. I'm talking about Boob the puppet. Like
I love Boob.
I think there's a reason why he probably never actually made it on to Nick Jr. Play Along.
He was like it was like our psychic id, like after a 12-hour, 10, 11-hour day. That's where my brain was. I'm like, oh, I totally get it. Kind of thing. Let me see if I can find out. Adrian Torrisi, I think like before each one of them, there was like, the title card. Have you even seen your tapes?
What tapes?
The tapes that they gave you when it was over.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
I love them. I love the tapes. I love them. I saw a lot of them. Like I remember we did like it's silly yoga. We did silly yoga. Like I remember I remember like all these spots. I even did like Nick
I remember Nick Jr. News. I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, like I remember a lot. Like I remember the spots that we did. I think like performing was just like so much fun. Like of course I remember that,
Yeah, and because Nick Jr. Play Along meant so much to me. I remember being I mean I literally was so happy every time the theme song would come on, like literally curled up in a blanket in my grandfather's literally curled up in a blanket, 6-year-old me curled up in a blanket inside my grandfather's chair with of course a snack by my side and literally just beaming from ear to ear in my comfort zone.
And how old were you when that happened?
So I was 6 years old in 2003 when way back when it started, and then in 2004 I was 7 years old when it ended.
And how did it feel when it ended?
Oh man, I was like surprised. I mean, like, where'd they go?
I know.
Yeah. So why did the show only last for only 1 year? What happened?
Take it away, Zach.
No, I
Here
want to
we
hear what you
go.
remember.
I don't remember. Take it away, Zach.
What happened? Did you just like completely go? You must have gone to another place
You
in your
know
mind
what?
completely.
Well, never mind. Never mind. Go on.
No, I want to hear it. Cough it up. I'm not giving any.
Huh?
Come on. Are you afraid you're gonna get in
No,
trouble?
you know what the truth is? And I this is my first time saying this publicly. Like, okay, my Nick Jr., I love Nick Jr., but there was like stuff outside of Nick Jr. that was like crazy. So I may have just blocked certain things of that like year of my life. But you wouldn't have been able to tell because
well, let's talk about that.
Because when I was on set, right? Like, it's time for Nick Jr. So you'd see the smile. And like, I genuinely was happy because like performing for Nick Jr. was like so much fun, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That could, like, I was trying to do like some sort of psychoanalysis of myself just now. I'm going to just shut up right now. Take it away, Zach.
All right. So what I heard, and well, I'll just put it out there. It's not really going to harm me. I don't think. But I heard from I lived in Bed-Stuy, and my best friend had a coffee shop called Bread-Stuy, and it was like the centerpiece of that area. And one of the people that was a producer in that area that worked closely, he mentioned to her like, oh yeah, my buddy Travis did a show there. And when he mentioned Nick Jr., she was like, oh, and he was like, what? And she's like, yeah, we buried that. And I'm like, why? And it turned out that, do you remember Brown? She was like the VP of programming, and she showed up to one of the lunches we had, and she, from what I was told, was like on maternity leave, and they weren't sure which way they were going to go with it. But when she was out, they pushed it through, like, we're going to do this. And I think what I heard was she considered it like a power move, or she felt it was threatening. And so when she came back, she just killed it. That could be great, television, whatever. But yeah, I mean, the industry's so funny. You don't know, like, you get used to it very quickly. Like, oh, I didn't get cast for this because I was, an inch too tall, or not for me, but like, or like I was too old, or I had weird whatever, or like I reminded some. There's so many things you can't control. So I think you just have to sort of go forward and be positive, and I think you thicken your skin and you learn how to move on. I know I was really sad after it went away, and I was I felt betrayed in a way, because I was like, felt like a family member, like it just kind of turned the back on me, and it was like, made me really sad.
I know, because Nick Jr. is like a family. That's like why when I first saw you, Travis, when you logged on here, like I almost cried, because it's like, oh my gosh, it felt like a family reunion.
Yeah, even I came close to shedding a tear too, and I'm a big crier.
Aww.
Yeah, because right after Nick Jr. So right after Nick Jr.'s play along had ended, because Nick Jr. play along was also on what used to be called Nick Jr. on CBS.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. So Nick Jr. on CBS was this weekend's children's block that lasted from September of 2000 to September of 2006. Now that started so in September of 2000 I was 4, and then in September of 2006, that's when I was 9. So I watched it from 4 to 9 years old, because I remember everything. Since I remember everything that they had on at that time, because my mom remembers me having a very good memory, because the thing about me is, since I can memorize what's going to be on TV that week without even looking at a TV guide.
Wow.
That is what did they, it used to be called TV Guide, where you, this is back, remember, like you would, there was a channel that you went to and it just listed everything on cable. I don't know if you remember that, Allison, but you're like, what's on? You can either go to your TV guide and try to decipher it, or you can go to the channel.
I mean actually looking at a regular television guide, like a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just, I didn't even have to look at a TV guide. I memorized it like that.
Oof.
Yeah.
This is back in the day when things were 4:3 aspect ratio standard definition. Right before, I would say like a year and a half, everyone had to go to HD after that. So everything became like that landscape kind of cinematic framing like we have right now. But I'm looking at, if you check in Hillary, I just sent a message with an attachment to everyone, and it says everybody that was involved with it. So like Kevin Weist was like the executive producer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aww.
Adrian Teresi, post-production was Rathma, who I don't remember. Holly Gregory was an associate. You're right.
Yes, I remember.
Ross, that's the guy's name. The writer's name was Ross Alvord. Yeah.
Hi, Ross, if you're watching. Hi, Ross, we love you.
And did you remember Trish and George? They were the ones doing all the crazy backgrounds on the green screen.
Trish and George.
Yeah, they were the art directors. Trish, Rosanella, and George Gooseman. They were.
Are they on this thing you just sent me?
Yeah. It has everybody that was on it. That's like from the.
I don't see their names on here.
Art director Trish. It's about.
I see it. I see it. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then Anthony was there too. I remember he was like this stocky Italian guy. He was the one piping it in the whole time.
And Hillary, not me, another Hillary was like production manager.
Yes, that's right. I remember
Hillary.
She was very, I think Hillary was the person who introduced me to the word snarky, which I'd never heard before.
Snarky.
It's weird how the brain remembers. She told me what snarky was. I'm like, oh.
What did she say? What'd she say about snarky?
It was sort of glib and sort of like, you're like, oh, you make some sort of like almost sarcastic comment. And it's like, oh, that was really snarky. Like, I don't know if snarky existed ever before that time, but that's when I learned what snarky, maybe it was a new term.
That is so cute that she taught you a word.
She did. Yeah. And it wasn't a puppet either. That's where I learned most of my. And then Kimmy, remember Kimmy, production assistant? She had to do everything. I remember Kimmy because, so Allison, what would happen is we'd get all of this copy, right? Copy is like the script. And we would have to memorize it the night before. And it's difficult. So if you watch a movie, someone will say a line and then they'll cut to the other person who says a line and they'll cut back to it. It's a little easier. So if you go off script, they can cut around it. Not what we did. We had to do like a minute looking at the camera, playing games. Remember how we couldn't say certain words? Like stay tuned. We weren't allowed to say stay tuned.
Why weren't we allowed to say stay tuned?
Because it wasn't their brand. I think it was like from another show or series or whatever. So like you can't say it, but like I'd listen to stay tuned in the back of my brain all the time. That would get through like 55 seconds. I'd be like, all right, everybody stay tuned. And everyone would go like, oh.
Aww.
You don't remember stay tuned? Anyway.
You know what? I'm going to just start going like this. Does that look convincing?
Yeah. Totally playing that close to the vest there. We would memorize it all because you'd have to get all the memorization so you could get through that solid minute. And on the way to set, I remember either what was his name? I just said his name, Ross, or Kimmy would come up and say like, oh, here's some changes.
Yeah, like I remember the day of, like the same day, like I'd be sitting in the chair, like Sherry would be doing my hair, making me beautiful. Thank you, Sherry. And then like I'd like right there, they'd hook us up too. Like breakfast was awesome, right?
Yeah, it was good breakfast. Yeah,
I'd be like eating my breakfast while Sherry was doing my hair, memorizing my lines for that day.
Yeah. But as soon as you got to memorize, they show up. You're like, oh, here are the changes. You're like, I just memorized those lines. And
that's what I'm saying, like that day.
That would be like one of the hardest things. Like it would be like 2/3 of what you memorized, and then they would change 2 things. And you're like, oh, how do I unlearn this? Because it's like muscle memory.
But guess what, Zach? We
Yeah.
did it. We
We
did
did it.
it. Yay! We
We did
did
it
it.
somehow. It was good.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
was fun. It was fun. And yeah, and like I feel like they helped us be true pros because true pros, we got to know how to roll with the punches. And so we went to
Yeah.
the NickJr boot camp. We know how to do that. So it's all good.
I got to tell you, my game for like learning scripts went up so much after that. And also like the ability to relate to the camera like was so much better because it's hard, Allison, to like, you and I are looking at each other right now, kind of through the camera. But imagine there's nothing there. You're just, and you're talking to the camera and
Yeah.
and it's a 4-year-old. So you have to give it time. So you would be like, hey, do you know what this is? Yeah, it's a pen. And it was so hard because your eyes want to wander. You're like, who am I looking at? Like you took a lot of imagination to do it, but I got really strong at that. So it helped. Good skills to have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so what's next? I mean, what are you guys doing these days?
Hillary?
That's something I can answer. Yay.
What?
I said I can answer that. Yay.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hillary. Yeah, Hillary, you go first. What are you doing these days? Yeah, and then Travis, I'll get to you next.
I am doing a few different things. I am a voice actress. So recently I did like a commercial for the new Tamagotchi Angel series. So that was released like 2 days ago. That's on
Yeah.
YouTube. And I also am a creator. So I created a series called Actors Anonymous Hotline. And I also created a spin-off, which is like a faith-based series called Sunny Has a Dream. And Sunny Has a Dream is more like appropriate for like children and families. So
Yeah.
anyone who wants to watch, just go to hillaryhawkins.com/Sunny Has a Dream. And like it's a lot of fun, like being able to write and create and act and like all the actors on Actors Anonymous Hotline are so talented. And even Sunny Has a Dream, it's just myself and one other actress dream. Like she's great. It's just fun, you know?
Like an actor's dream, or like you guys dream and then come to show and go like, I had the craziest dream. Like I had 4 extra arms. What does it mean?
Well, basically, I play the part of Sunny Love, and Sunny
Uh-huh.
Love is like a very vivid dreamer. So the way each episode works, like I'll wake up from a dream, and then like I'll pick up the phone and I'll talk to my big sister Wisdom, and I'll tell her all about the dream, and then we'll like talk about it, and then we'll pray about it because
Right.
Sunny Love needs love too.
Right.
Sunny Love
Right.
needs some help, so we pray over it, and then everyone has a sunny day.
Don't you love how
That's
positive she is? She's like a ray of sunshine.
yeah,
Aw, thank you.
yeah, because she's filled with glitz and glamour.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, because you both are one of a kind.
Well, that's really
Aw.
nice to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because you guys are my childhood. I love you both so, so much.
Aw, thank you. We love you, and I'm just so grateful that you brought us together. This is great.
Yeah,
It's been a minute. Like we used to talk all the time and then life stuff, and then it's kind of interesting to have time pass and come back to it.
I know.
yeah, you're right about that. I mean, it's really a bit of a time warp. I mean, there's a sense that no time has passed.
I know. I feel like Zach and I could
Yeah.
like just break out into something like right now, and it would be like just like yesterday.
Yeah, so Travis, what are you doing these days? What's next for you?
Well, I'm it's interesting because I was in Los Angeles and I was doing gigs for a while, and I'm like one of the few lucky actors that, I made my living, a lot of it, and got health insurance, and I'll get a pension from being a Union Screen Actors Guild an AFTRA actor. Um, and I just wanted to take a break because the challenge of the industry is you can't really say no until you get to a certain level. So were a lot of experiences where like I had something planned and then an opportunity would happen and I'd have to leave that thing to do that. The joke among actors, like the best way to get a great audition is to book a non-refundable flight. And it's really true. And it became, when you have kids, my priorities shifted a little. Like I want to be there more for them, and I don't want to be stressed when I'm with them. And I was getting to a place when I'd get an audition, and instead of feeling that excitement, I'd be like, oh, why now? Kind of thing. Because it was like I would have to figure that out, and it would be stressful. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to stay positive about this. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break. So we relocated to Texas because we wanted our kids to go to like a private school. We weren't really happy with Los Angeles schools. They're just too crowded, and we just want to give them a childhood. So we moved out here about 5 years ago, and my daughter's graduating. Like,
Wow.
I can't believe I'm saying
Congratulations.
that.
Wow, nice.
And she's really amazing, and it's been wonderful to see her grow. And my son is like 6'1" and a freshman
Wow.
in high school.
Wow.
He's got like a size 14 foot. I'm like, wow. So he plays like a traveling competitive volleyball league. They're going to nationals this year. Go Eagles. So it's just been nice to be able to go to Austin to see him play for the weekend, and it was just one of those things that it was hard to be able to do that when I was acting. So I'm here. I'm starting to get the itch again. There's a guy named Taylor Sheridan. I don't know. Do you know who he is by any chance?
Hey, Travis, you know what I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do?
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Yeah.
He's like a big deal, and like Texas is popping with all kinds of like, this like sort of a cowboy thing is kind of coming back. Yellowstone is really popular, and Landman is really popular. Lioness with Zoe Saldana was just shot down the street from me. So I'm like, oh, if he's bringing all this business here, I may start doing the business again in that way. But
that's interesting. You know what? And when you said that, like, I feel like New Jersey is getting ready to be like on and popping for our industry too. Like, Netflix is moving to New Jersey. So I'm like,
right.
I'm in LA right now, but I'm like, who knows? Maybe before you know it, I may end up back in Jersey. I'm sure my family would love that,
Yeah, it's a little, I hear like people in LA since like the strike and COVID, it just really hasn't kind of come back in the same way. I know a lot of people are hurting and leaving.
Aww.
So, but it's also tax incentives. So the way it works is like, if you go to, you bring your production to Texas, they'll give you like 40% of your expenditure taxes back for bringing it to Texas, but you have to hire a certain amount of local people. So like, you can't just fly everyone from LA. Now, usually they'll have like LA or New York principals. They'll cast there and then they'll bring them to Texas. But all the smaller roles and medium-sized roles, they want to cast local so they can get their tax incentive. Oh, there's a whole industry boring stuff on
it. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, way back when we were talking about Jemiah Nash earlier, since I still remember what her character's name was on Nick Jr.'s Play Along, because I remember the segment that both Hillary and Jemiah did together.
Oh yeah, what was that called? Typewriter?
The Alphabet Garden. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I remember it because I've seen it, because I binge watched that segment numerous times getting ready for this.
Aww.
Because since I'm a girl that loves to binge watch. So Jemiah Nash's character on Nick Jr.'s Play Along was Lily, also known as MC Lily.
That's right.
Because when she would be in the Alphabet Garden, she would have to rap about the letters of the alphabet, but from what I remember coming across, because I remember that there was one where she had to rap about the letter D and I think the letter B.
Yes, you remember.
That's right. They don't call me as because since I'm known as the queen of nostalgia over here, because I love nostalgia.
Aww.
Yeah. So Hillary, what was it like doing those segments with Jemiah?
It was cool. She's so cute and she's so talented. It was fun. So much fun.
Because since I even told her on that Instagram live stream that if I was cast as the singing voice of Uniqua, working with her would have been an absolute joy for me, because because where they did the singing and the voiceovers for the Backyardigans was in Dubway Studios, located in downtown New York.
How do you know all this stuff? She's like a walking Nick Jr. encyclopedia.
You know,
Yeah.
man, Hillary, yeah, because my mind is an encyclopedia because because remember, I'm a 90s baby, but I'm very blessed to have grown up in the 2000s and experiencing so much from Nick Jr.
Oh, thank you so much for watching Nick Jr.
Of course.
That actually sounded like the pitch. Say that again, Hillary.
Oh, thank you so much for watching Nick Jr. I was sincere though. Like anyone who watches us, I'm like, thank you guys for watching us. Like seriously,
man, today was just so much fun. Man, this was just a dream come true for me to be hosting to be hosting this reunion. And next time we have to try to get everybody together from the show.
that would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that the puppet because I know the puppetry community can be a very interesting lot.
Aww.
Yeah.
I mean, with everybody's schedules, like I'm thinking like everyone we worked with, like I'm putting out into the universe, we're all like working so much, like to be able to get us all together at the same time would be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are welcome back on this show anytime.
Oh, thank you, Allison.
You're welcome.
Allison, you live in New Jersey, Allison?
No. No, I'm from New York, born and raised. Yeah.
Are you in the city?
Well, since I live in Queens.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you should like with all this fandom, keep it growing, and then maybe you could like somehow get to be on the set of something as a PA or assistant. You just have to put yourself out there. So that's great that you're doing this.
Yeah,
I think you'd have a great time, and they love to have positive people around, and you should definitely do that.
Yeah, because Chris Grant Jr., who is a dear friend of mine, and because since he was the talking voice of Tyrone from season 4 of the Backyardigans, he even told me himself. He says it's awesome that fans like me can recall the content so well and just jog his memory. It's so cool.
Yeah, and it's also really, I think, special to also as an educator. I'm not teaching right now for the moment. I'm just doing video and production and producing stuff and editing. Oh yeah, I forgot to say I'm doing films. My company's On the Path Productions, and I have a short video that's sort of actually, Hillary, I think you would like it. It's sort of spiritual. I don't want to say. I would say it's kind of a faith-based, but like a dusting. Like
Okay.
you're right. I love like spirituality and magical realism. I'm a little, I'm not fully in on like, let's go down the path of, like talking about Jesus for 10 minutes, but I love all the concepts in there. And it's a piece called Take It In. And if you go onto Amazon, you can just type Take It In dash short, because there's like, otherwise it'll come up with that, what Liam Neeson film for some reason, which it's not. Because I don't think that's the spiritual, but it's a beautiful like little short film called Take It In dash short. Just look it up. I'm very proud of it.
Awesome. Congrats.
And then so I'm doing the production. Anyway, so what I was gonna say, the thing that I miss, I think, the most about teaching after I've taught for like 20 years is that being of service, I think, is an important thing for your humanity.
Yes.
And to feel the impact, not just in the day-to-day, but then to discover someone from a long time ago that says like, you really had an effect on my life, or you changed the direction, or you were hope at a time that I needed it. I think that's the greatest gift that somebody can give you. So thank you.
And man, this was just so much fun. Thank you guys so much for coming to Nostalgia Pride Podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. And of course, thank you guys so much for watching Nostalgia Pride Podcast. And remember that memories of nostalgia will help you build your nostalgia pride. We'll see you real soon. And just like you guys say at the end of the thank you song,
remember, you can play along with us all day at NickJr.com.
See you there.
Now let's get back to more Nick Jr.
More Nick Jr.
Woo!